Hi guys, we're here today at 100 Miles and we're about to speak to Garie. He's the owner of 100 Miles. And if you know 100 Miles, you know this is culture, this is hip hop, and he's still around. So don't forget to come and see him. He's on Queen Street. He has a lot of support and we're about to do an interview, which I can't wait. Hey guys, I'm here with Garie at 100 Miles. I'm down at the beaches, but before we get started, why don't you tell us where you're located?
Hi guys, we're located at 2359 Queen Street East, otherwise known as the Beach, the east side of Toronto. Come down and check us out.
Absolutely. So you've been in the industry for 35 years, and even before we even start that, where can they go to get your merchandise? Where can they go to look at your socials? Why don't you present that to the audience out here as well?
At 100 Miles Brand. So all socials, 100 Miles Brand. On TikTok, same thing. Website, 100milesbrand.com.
So right across the board, guys, it's 100 Miles Brand.com. Sorry. Let's start with you being in a community, not only as part of the culture, specifically the hip hop culture, but you yourself have been in the community for, as I mentioned earlier, 35 years. And tell me about your experiences. And let's start a little bit from how you started and where do you come from? What part of the city do you represent?
I represent Scarborough, otherwise the heart of it, Malvern. All right, so I'm from Malvern.
Big up to Malvern, right. And some people still don't realize Malvern's in Scarborough. And and I say this kindly and gently, a lot of the hood stars, like Garie himself, come from Scarborough.
Yeah.
So this is a great way for you guys to hear about his beginnings. And if there's something that you guys catch from this and want to take forward, he is going to be the inspiration or a mentor. So let's start with how you started.
I started 30 odd years ago, and it's such a long time.
Right.
And with it, I just saw there was a void for our own community to be buying things that represented us, or, you know, things in such a way that it wasn't being given to us by, let's say, a third party, but by our own. And so this is the reason why
basically
I started 100 Miles.
So for us, by us, and no copy issues, right? Issues with FUBU. We're just
before them, way before them,
right? And we're mentioning that what he's saying is that he wanted the community to be represented in, which is 35 years of a positive way, because there has been many people who have worn his shirts, his gear. We're currently in location at the store. I mean, you can't see everything, but if you have a chance to come down, please come down. But as you were saying, you started out
91, 92.
Okay.
Yeah, in that time frame. And the music was just, how should I say it, something that represented me. And meeting Kid and Play, that was the very first group that I met.
Wow.
And them hooking me up with, you know, Uptown Records and everybody along my journey to, you know, get into music videos to movies, right? So shout out Kid and Play.
Absolutely.
Right, for, you know, my beginning into this whole industry and into, you know, the brand that we've become.
And what was your inspiration with the name? How did the name come about?
The name came about because it was a concept that I had. First, we only made 100 of everything. Right, and so we had numbered it from 1 to 100.
Right, so exclusivity.
Exclusivity and like more custom. And then at the same time, 100 Miles symbolized us as a people. The fact that we've come 100 miles, but we still got 100 miles to go to overcome many struggles, opposition, discrimination, racism, and so forth. So we've come 100 miles, but we still got 100 miles to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we were talking earlier, speaking of conscientious and things that are provided for us within the culture, and sometimes how the culture vultures come in and they take and they don't provide anything in return, whether it's to the community, whether they give us back funds, whether they're including us. And we were talking deeply about it, and it is a part of you that I can see that has, no, I don't want to say hinder, because you've been here for 35 years, but let's say experienced. And how was that for you, and how did that motivate you?
I think it's kept me going. Right. That's why we're still here, is just to make sure that the truth be told. You know what I mean? And it's not his story; it's our story.
That's true.
So I keep trying to create the chapters that in years from now, when I'm gone, there'll be the books of our story and what we did to represent our culture.
Absolutely.
Right? So
I mean, I can personally say we're basically the same age, and we're triple OGs. Please don't get it twisted. And I can say that his experience, though he went into fashion and merchandising and custom and all that stuff, we had a foundation which was hip hop. And both of us have been to concert hall and party center, and we've seen mans them that are not alive. From let's say DMX. I've seen DMX live, and if we go even earlier, we both did you go to the Heavy D concert back in the day?
No,
you didn't go to that one?
No.
Okay, but I mean, there's probably somebody else that is on that roster.
Yeah.
Did you go to Bismarck back in the day?
No, I went KRS.
Well, I was saying that we've seen people. Well, what I was just saying is that we were lucky enough to be these kids that have seen people dead or alive, and we were the kids that grew up on hip hop, and we were alive when hip hop was created.
Definitely.
Is hip hop for you something, when you built your brand, it was it started out with the hip hop culture, and then as now, of course, you got to pivot in your life and make changes and move forward. But did it start that way?
Yeah, it started in hip hop. Started in black music. Period.
Got you.
Soca, reggae, R&B, soul. And obviously hip hop.
Right. But there was a connection between the 100 Miles and the soul of your business, literally.
Oh yeah,
right.
Definitely,
And
definitely.
those two kind of merged, and even your exclusivity. You were doing 100 maybe T-shirts, let's say. Why did you change? What did you get? Was your impact on the culture big enough that you were able to pivot and change and say, we need to sell 250 pieces?
Well, what happened was we did an interview on television, and at the time we were very young, and they asked us a question like, what happens when you reach 100? What are you going to do?
Right.
And we were kind of like, that's a good question.
Right.
And so we realized at that point that we had to kind of change our concept to reach the demands. Right. And so we kind of, in the early stages, blew up, let's say, and there was more demand than we had supply, so we had to kind of change our concept to suit the masses.
So that's actually a great thing that you're talking about, because a lot of people pivot and still cannot maintain, and I'm saying this throughout the entire interview, 35 years. This is big, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And I think we're also talking about, you said either next year or a few months from now, it's going to be officially 35?
Yeah.
Is it next year?
Yeah, next year.
Next year. So are you planning on having anything for your 35th anniversary? Okay, we under NDA right now, so we can't talk about that. But I feel like he is going to celebrate something, guys. And if you are interested, remember, always come out and support. Support is the best thing that you can do. And even if you decide to even come here and you just say to yourself, hey, I just want to check out the store, remember to post 100 Miles brand across all socials.
Yes.
And I also want to talk about how you were very lucky in also having your merchandise at AGO. And let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. So the AGO approached us, I think it was last year or the year before, and they said that they wanted us to be part of an exhibit, and we were like, okay, something new.
So hold on, because we went to that exhibit together. Not together, but like we went. But did they tell you at the time what the exhibit was? Or
they told us it was about the culture, and they're doing a Toronto rendition on an art exhibit that was coming from the States, touring across North America. And this was, let's say, the Canadian rendition or the Toronto rendition of how they saw the hip hop culture, and so we being, as you know, dinosaurs in this
I'm a
industry,
tripology. I don't know
right?
about dinosaur.
Well, prehistoric, right? Right, but before time.
Right. When we was young.
Yeah, right. When we was very young,
Yeah.
you know, they saw us as an intricate part of the culture that they had to include, and so you know we saw it as a great opportunity to, one, tell our story, and two, introduce new people that are from, let's say, the art world into our world.
Absolutely.
Right.
And in doing that and going to the actual exhibit, let's just talk about the exhibit a little bit. What did you think about it?
Thought it was all right.
Yeah, I gave it a C minus.
I thought it was all right.
I'll say this: I didn't realize, as you were speaking, you were saying, "Hey, it was a tour," and
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
yeah,
And I really thought, for me, I would have loved to see more incorporation of our Canadian artists, and
most definite.
he is definitely part of the culture and the fashion side. But there's others out there that would have been also could have been included,
Yeah,
because even the streetwear they had, I feel like they could have had your outfit, a
yeah. Of
tracksuit,
course, of
and I
course, of
no
course.
no disrespect to street. I think it's Walker Wear, and they may have Fubu up there,
Yeah,
but somebody like 100 miles that is black owned, that is literally part of the culture, the fabric itself. AGO do better, but we'll move on from that. We'll move on from that, because they did. I'll say this: they did bring us a part of an exhibit that was wonderful for those that may have not been able to experience what hip hop is and see what it is and continues to grow, but also to having your streetwear there or your fashion there and allowing your brand to grow, and people are from downtown now can walk in and be like, I like this, and there's
yeah.
something that they can buy from you as well. So again, there's this location at Queen Street, and then there's also,
The
if you're
AGO.
downtown, please visit the AGO and check them out. Let's give you the mic a little bit.
Okay.
And what would you like to talk about or tell us about 100 miles that maybe nobody knows?
Uh, to answer your question, Ness, something that people don't know about my brand is that one of my biggest inspirations is the late great Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie Smalls.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Shout out to the family. Shout out to
yeah,
Biggie Smalls. Absolutely.
yeah, we're just celebrating March 9th,
Right.
and Biggie came to my store. So
Wow.
yeah, he came straight to
Wow.
my store, and he let me know when he came that he was a huge fan of my brand. And
No.
yeah, he was the one that got me serious about what I'm doing. So a lot of people don't know that everybody's going to attribute it to Pac, but it was Biggie that really, at the time, like, because we were all young, right? We're in
Right.
our early 20s, and
Right.
you know, when you're 20, you think you know it all, but you don't really know as much as you want to think you know.
Right.
And he's the one that, as quote unquote, put me onto game.
Yeah.
And he was the one who was telling me that, your brand is huge. What you're doing is something really special, and everybody in New York wants your stuff. And me being from Scarborough, like, I'm like, are you serious?
That must have been an honor in your
Yeah,
heart and
yeah,
soul.
yeah. Because at the time I'm looking at it like, I'm thinking this guy wants to come and beat me up because Pac is wearing my stuff,
So wait a
and
minute, you got the East Coast.
yeah, yeah, I was, yeah, no, like
Okay,
Pac.
so you talk because okay, let's bring it back a little bit
Okay,
and then keep talking about
okay,
Biggie. You mentioned Pac because you even
yeah.
said just now that it wasn't Pac. What is the reference you're talking to Tupac? And shout
See,
out to Tupac,
like
rest in
when
peace.
I say the reference, I'm referencing to getting me serious about what I was doing,
Got you.
right, and inspiring me to, you know, get serious about the brand. You know what I mean?
But
Because before I just saw it as like, a quick hustle, or just like,
you weren't serious.
yeah, it wasn't serious at
And but
all.
I know that Tupac wore your shirt in a major
Yeah,
movie. What was the movie
above the
again?
rim,
Above the Rim.
above
So
the rim.
it wasn't that. It was actual, again,
Meeting Biggie.
Notorious B.I.G. that
Yeah,
came in,
yeah,
said, "You have something wonderful, and I think you should stick with it. And I think that is, you know what? We know he passed away a long time ago. Again, rest in peace, rest in power, rest in beats. But to actually come in your store and look at you and say, you know what? I believe in you. I think you have the talent. And then you really took that seriously and said, you know what? I'm going to do this. And again, 35 years, guys. 35 years of probably ups and downs, but it started with Biggie. And let's talk about, okay, we did mention Tupac. Why don't you tell us some other artists? Let's say, have you worked with artists outside the rap game? Let's talk about some things you've done outside of that.
Janae.
Oh wow.
We've got Shaggy, Sean Paul.
Shout out to all you guys.
Lauryn Hill.
What?
Erykah Badu.
Oh, this is amazing to hear these names because he keeps
Christopher Williams.
he calls us OGs, but they are also, you know, OGs in the game. And so this was this at the beginning of your or the starting of throughout their career. So it's a long time that the industry, the music, the culture, the hip hop culture has actually supported you. And with that support, have you seen things that have even influenced you even more to do better for yourself within your business?
Yes, I've seen the growth. I've seen the corporate side of things now.
Right.
Right.
We talked about that too.
So I've seen like the maturity. Like that's what it's done to my life. It's matured me and let me grow up in the fashion world, in the industry of music. And you know, just been a pivoting point of just every day trying to write a new chapter.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And I think that for 35 years, you've done extremely well. Even if you've had ups or downs, you are still here. And we talked earlier too. This is what, the second or third location you've been at?
Third.
Yeah. And so the other locations,
we're downtown.
And did you find there better or here better?
Well, I'm always going to attribute it to my first store. My first store is always going to be like the memorable one.
The baby.
Yeah, the baby. Yeah. Right. Like that's where 100 miles, you know, became 100 miles. And this now being, you know, the next, you know, chapter of, you know, the growth of the brand. This is a blessing and just as, you know, imperative and how should I say it, important.
That's
you know what I mean, in keeping the you know the legacy or whatever they want to call it going, right? In terms of, you know, we're in a predominantly upscale neighborhood now, right? A totally different demographics than,
and Beaches didn't because we've lived here basically all our lives. Beaches was a different area, so I know that with sometimes unfortunately gentrification takes place, and it's not necessarily always of us. It could be other cultures as well. And this is a different place from what we are growing up. But to be here and be established, that is a great accomplishment.
Thank you.
And you know, continue with all the great success.
Thank you.
Let's go into something else. What do you want to talk about today? And maybe about the store, or maybe things that you have upcoming that you're willing to share as an exclusive for the audience out there.
Well, I just want everybody to support local, support our brand, because we're before a lot of the people that everybody's acclaiming put Toronto on. So I just want to get the facts straight. Right?
Not a problem.
We put Toronto on.
That's right.
And we put Toronto on the map. In the early 90s, it was the clothing brands that were the loudspeakers, not the artists that are coming out of the city as we see now.
That's true.
So we're the ones that created this platform to let a lot of people see that they can make it actually from Toronto and not have to be emulating the States, but be who we are.
Yes.
And that's what we wanted to always do, is represent Toronto and represent who we are from Toronto, and not be, let's say, another aspect of American culture.
Right. So again, finding our own identity within the Canadian culture.
Right.
And then also too, all of us here sitting down, the producer himself, shout out to Ras, we are all of either we were born in the Caribbean or we are a Caribbean culture.
Definitely.
So there's things that you're right. We need to mix, because when I was going to high school and I was about 14, 15, I listened to pop music and boogie down and didn't like the soca. But then as you get older, you realize the value and the culture of, he's Jamaican, I'm Trinidadian. You realize the value of our music and what it does for us as a community. And this store is, let me tell you, it is completely representative of that. And again, I encourage anybody that outside of Black History Month, just come and check this store out, because this store is amazing. He carries everything from, t-shirts to hoodies to hats. And a little later, we're going to do a little segment with him, walk around the store, and then just look at some of his items, and if he's willing to provide pricing and things like that. No, well, it's a good thing. At least people know that they have options, and that there's things here for everybody at every price point. Would you say that?
Definitely.
Absolutely. So remember, come out and support, and make sure that 100 miles stays for another 100 miles. No, let's say another 100.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
We're here at 100 miles with Garie. And just remember that if you're interested in anything he has, check him out at 100 miles brand. And also remember to follow Hip Hop Festival and Down to Earth podcast, guys. If you'd like to see this interview, this is where you're going to come and find us. We were talking again. Let's get right back into it. And let's talk about your business. Do you have investors? Are you a sole owner?
Sole owner.
Congratulations. And being a sole owner for 35 years, I said it again, is a major, major accomplishment. You also mentioned that you do have help behind the scenes.
Oh, lots.
And that he does still, because of that help, whatever that entails, he still has to answer or provide, tangible information, money, things like that. So let's talk about that and your sole entrepreneurship and how that's been for you.
Well, we became a corporation about, I'd say, 10, 15 years now.
Right.
So we've been incorporated, and I own all the shares. With the soul. There's like my legal team that handles all the trademarks, copyrights, and all that.
So let's talk about that for a second. I walked in the store and I saw something that I saw a few weeks ago, but I didn't even recognize it was your brand.
Yeah.
Guys, just so you know what I'm talking about, and we're going to show the hoodie or the wording itself, and it says Greater Toronto area. And of course, that's probably a play or your own idea as well off of a video game. But I saw it the other day, but it didn't have your 100 miles here. And I thought to myself, whoever did this is like, it's wonderful. It is a great idea. Then to walk in the store and he's like, it's mine. Mm-hmm. And so again, congratulations to that. It's an amazing idea. But also I understand trademark, because I specifically, as we talked earlier, when that I'm a huge and lover of hip hop, and it's elements, fashion, everything included, that I even took the time to trademark my name. With yours, Greater Toronto, 100 miles, or whatever you come out with, do you take the time to trademark these things?
Of course.
No, these are things that we try to tell. We want people to hear from you, but remembering maybe somebody out there might see that and say, "What do I need to do?"
Yeah,
you're an inspiration.
You have to do your legal stuff
and your due diligence.
Yeah, and your due diligence, and you got to keep on your books. So you got to have an accountant or somebody that knows about handling your monetary affairs. So and then I have my art side, or my designer team, that we constantly make different designs or concepts. And so there's a lot of, let's say, teams that I have within the company, mm-hmm. that and then we have the what we call the pop-up team, right? When we do pop-up shows, they come and help assemble a show or merchandise the look of the show.
Oh, so you do pop-up?
Oh, tons.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I mean, I know you've always had a location, and then to see you in AGO, as we discussed earlier, believe you me, I'm so happy for you, because
Thank you.
the thing is, just so you understand, our friendship, we're Scarborough kids. We may not have known each other like that, but throughout the years and being Caribbean children and going to all the same events and same things, you end up eventually talking to people and really respecting people. And this is a man that I've respected
Thank you.
from the time I heard about him, because again, 35 years is deep in the game. And even me, I'm not one of those negative people, but you don't always expect people to last. So see him standing here 2 feet on the ground, ready to go, still continuing the business. It is a huge, huge accomplishment from a kid from Scarborough, because it's not where you start. Remember, guys, it's where you're going, right? So it's always a good thing to look at somebody like yourself, and you are an inspiration, just like Biggie was an inspiration. I feel like, we talked about gatekeeping. We don't need to gatekeep in our culture. We need to ensure that we're sharing the information so that there's other businesses that last for 35 years. Because 35 years, let me tell you guys, is a big, 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 big number and a big way to put an impact in Toronto, the Toronto culture, the Toronto hip hop, and to the point where it hit the United States and worldwide. Because let's talk about how your shirts probably, or merchandise, I don't even want to say shirts. Let's say your merchandise has been around the world. Have you seen on the internet, let's name some spots you've seen your merchandise, like way out there that you were like, wow.
Netherlands, Dubai, Poland, Germany, England, Australia.
All the way out Japan, Australia. Wow.
Japan, Africa.
Hey.
Jamaica, Trinidad.
Hey.
Guyana. Oh man, there's so many places. Barbados,
so you've even infiltrated the Caribbean, and that's a wonderful thing, because you mentioned Trinidad. Is it people coming here buying the stuff, or is it
both?
Oh, okay. So explain that. So it's
like people will come say, "Hey, I'm going home. I want to bring back 100 miles," or they're here visiting, as tourists. So we get a lot of tourists that come, and Paris, France, and or cons, and
and they make a stop at this particular store. Again,
they like the energy.
This is again, guys. This is his work, his ethics, him standing with 2 feet down and trying over and over again. Because I always talk about you're never a failure. The event is, which allows you then to try again. So again, big congratulations to you. Thank because you. I'm learning about you things that I don't know. Again, we know of each other. He's even supported my hip hop festival. Thank you very much. He has seen something in me that he has come around and poured into me. And then I've now done this podcast, and I'm like, I have to interview you. And I harassed him. Believe you me, I harassed him. And I thank you for this, because one of the things that we need to do is talk about what people in the hip hop culture, or even in Toronto. I mean, I don't even want to associate this entire story with hip hop, that you've taken the time to, infiltrate Toronto as a whole and be here and stand here and say, you know what, I'm here for, a good time, but I'm also here for a long time. Yeah. So I commend you on that, because there's a lot of things that come and go, and you have stood the test of time, and I appreciate that. Is there something that you want to provide maybe to an audience member out there, that you can provide maybe wisdom, something about your store, anything that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'd want to tell anybody out there listening, believe in yourself. Don't believe that you can achieve because of where you're from or your financial situation. You just gotta believe in the powers above, that's God, and have faith, prayers, and just, strong prayer, strong praying, and manifesting blessings.
That's it.
Right? And manifesting positive energy to create, your own environment, and, rule with, a positive thumb. There's going to be ups and downs.
Yeah.
And there's going to be struggles, but it's how you overcome the struggles.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And like, as we say, we keep it 100. So we keep it,
literally and figuratively, guys.
Yeah, figuratively.
Yes.
And so that's kind of the motto in which I represent. And so just believe in yourself, believe in God, and know that, you know, through faith, everything is possible.
Absolutely. You heard it here from the man himself, Garie, at 100 miles. Take that, look at that, and say to yourself, if there's something that you want to do, we're not providing bad information for you. And think about it this way. You know what? I'm pretty sure if you came to his store, whether to support or even talk about business, he might give you an ear and lend you a couple, give you information or advice that is to help you. Because one thing we also talked about is the gatekeeping in our community.
Yeah.
And it does sometimes, not even, I'd say a lot of the times, affect us. And do you feel that with your store, has anybody gatekeeped or did anything
of course.
that has you looking at them sideways? And what did you do with that afterwards? Did it motivate you?
There's always like been from day one what we call like the gatekeepers or the other side, and with that we don't really study it. We just keep doing what we do.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you know, the culture and the streets, as I say it, has always been there for us.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And a lot of the artists that you see us with, we didn't have to go through the record labels. The artists came to us directly, and so that to me, you know, resonates and means a lot more than, you know, somebody just giving them something because of like a corporation telling them, hey, you got to do this or you got to wear this. This is actually coming from, you know, the people that we love, and then them loving what we do. So it was a circle,
right?
You know, like in the 90s, like groups like Tribe and De La, you know, and I still rock with De La. Rest in peace to Trugoy.
I know, right? I miss him.
And Fife. You know, rest in peace to Fife.
Trinidad Gladiator.
Yeah, yes. So you know, those are some of my favorite artists and groups.
Me too.
You know, and you know, getting many times to have them wear my clothing and you know,
that's amazing.
Cipher with them, sit down and you know, talk about, you know, even up to last year I was with De La, you know, and you know, we got a chance to you know, kick it for a minute and just show love and know that like hip hop's alive.
Of course.
You know what I mean? In 2026, hip hop is definitely still alive. Because we're still here.
That's
you know what I mean? And you know, we have a few gone, but for those that are gone, we're here to represent them. So, you know, the culture will always, you know, keep evolving and keep, you know, strong.
So from hearing your answer, I guess things like meeting, and we are going to call them stars or idols, but to you, it is more than just being an idol. They're friends. They're now colleagues, or friends. They're also customers because they're coming in here off the strength and just saying, you know what, I'm going to support him. And then to kick it, maybe drink a beer or whatever. That's a nice thing. And with De La Soul and Tribe, there's something that is representative of them still coming here, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
I'm here with Garie at 100 miles. And before we get started, Garie, why don't you give us a shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out the Hip Hop Festival and the Down to Earth podcast.
Please hit that follow. It costs nothing to support, to like. Make sure you shout us out. You give us a DM. Talk to us if you want to be interviewed, if you are part of the culture. Again, Hip Hop Festival and Down to Earth podcast. Remember, don't forget to follow the 100 Miles brand across all socials. And I believe your 100 miles say your website.
100milesbrand.com.
Okay. And again, you guys can, if you don't want to come to the store, you can shop online. Something great. We are going to get into some of his clothing line and designs and walk through. But before that, what makes you come up with some of these designs?
People. I'm inspired by all y'all. Right? So, you know, my energy and my vibe is the people, and just trying to make high quality stuff. Usually it's from Canada, right? We always want to, you know, do everything homegrown. So it's
so even your suppliers in Canada, that's good.
Yeah.
And you do have both for women, men,
and kids.
And kids. So you can have your kids looking fly with 100 miles.
Most definitely.
Come down and support. And is there something clothing wise, fashion wise, that you're working on that you're willing to talk about right now? That you may be designing?
We're doing some throwbacks. A lot of people always ask us for a lot of our vintage stuff or our early 90s stuff. So we're going to be throwing back a couple, hot pieces.
And will they be 100 pieces only?
I think maybe even less.
Okay. But that's, you had a great concept and somebody opened your eyes. So I really feel like, that even for the throwbacks, that might be a great way to really have
it's going to be limited. It's going to be
limited edition, because if you can get, make 100,000 off the Ruby slippers, well, we can come back to a t-shirt 100 years later and it might be worth, 200,000. So that's great. And then it's classic, which makes it even nicer. What are some classic pieces that you'll be working with or putting out?
I don't really want to disclose too much.
Okay, no worries. No worries. No,
we're always like that brand that, you pop up and you see us, and you see it live and you got to be there in the moment, right? So we never want to jinx anything. So, we just do everything. You know what I'm saying?
And what he's saying on a deeper level, guys, I asked the question, doesn't mean he has to answer, but on his deeper level is that he's ensuring that his business stays a business and that things are coming out based on what he wants the world to see. So sometimes I may ask these questions and I don't get an answer, but that's okay, because you know what he did tell us? It's coming out. Yeah. So look forward to that and make sure you come and support. And I'm really interested in seeing what you have and can't wait. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Is there anything else within the year that you can talk about?
Yeah, well,
or where you might be this summer?
Really what I want to talk about is that a million people trying to do fashion right now, a million people trying to do clothes, but like there's a famous thing I always say is there's levels to this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we just always want to show the level that we're on. And that's not to demise or diminish anybody else from what they're doing or to say that we're better or we're worse. We're just like there's just levels.
But you have wisdom because you have experience. So you're not telling us something because you don't know. You're sharing.
Yeah, it's just sharing that, when you're looking at clothes and looking at brands, check out the histories. You know what I mean? And check out, how long they've been doing it for and what they represent and what's their contributions to the community, you know what I mean? And like we're in the beach and, you go along the beach and you'll see a lot of people rocking our clothing right now. And
which is really nice. Yeah, that is amazing. I mean, we were on the street and a guy walked by and he called him Miles and I had to laugh because, I know him as Garie, but I was like, 100 miles. I had to think about it for a second.
Yeah, everybody calls me Miles.
That's cool. And that's your little nickname that they've given you. And you did mention community. Can you tell us what things you have done, whether coming up in the past, that you've worked within the community to give back? Because if we're talking about your business, I know you give back.
Yeah, we've done a lot in the community. We've done food drives for the homeless. We've done a lot of school initiatives, co-op students, right? So we hire a lot of co-op students. We hire students in the summertime to work with us and see what it's like to be in a clothing store.
Right.
A lot of times we're just trying to bridge a lot of discrimination or typecast that people have on, let's say our community. So a lot of times we're trying to be the representatives of our community and show that, we're loving, caring people. Not everything that they see on the media is true.
Well, I mean, you see what's going on right now, guys, and we know that it's a lot of crap just to keep it simple. And I'm not going down that road, but that's good that you allow other kids and people opportunities to understand maybe the business, understand the history as you talked about earlier, and that if there's something that they want to go into, whether it's fashion, creating, production, you have to take the time to go literally, let's use Drake, started from the bottom. And you know what I mean? And shout out to Drake as well. Yes, absolutely. Speaking of Drake, has he been one of these people that have supported you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm glad because
Drake follows us.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that is, again, I know sometimes we look at Drake and yes, he didn't put Toronto on the map. You're not going to claim that, Drake. I'm sorry, but we can understand that he did for a lot for the city. So to see that he's come back and,
Most definitely.
and, again, community come back and hit you up, because it's always, people think charity comes from business. No, charity comes out of business, and you have to have the right acumen and understanding and working with others. And it seems like you've worked with a lot of people. Give us maybe your top 3 people that you've liked working with.
Top 3. Well, obviously Tupac.
Right. And how was that experience? Did you meet him?
Well, it was through now my famous director friends. At the time, it was a favor being returned to me.
Okay.
Right? So, yeah, and they were in New York and they were on the set, and they were bothering me for weeks about this movie, and I wasn't interested.
Wow.
And
wow.
Yeah, I wasn't interested.
Oh my gosh. Why?
I was busy with EPMD at the time.
Okay.
I was rocking with EPMD, so
above the rim wasn't as important.
It
but
wasn't.
You had lots of opportunities, as I see.
Oh yeah, tons of opportunities.
So there's Pac. How about a second person?
I'd say Wu-Tang.
Oh God.
Wu-Tang, and then Wu-Tang. ODB being the closest to me, or the one that really showed love, a lot of love, and then now Meth and Street Life.
I mean, ODB was so different, and I'm going to say this. I'm a weird kid, like straight up. So, I guess too, also when you come out of certain areas, we don't always necessarily look at ODB as a bad thing. Because at the end of the day, he came here and he supported you in your business. And did he also wear your...
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Olive Wu.
Oh, Olive Wu. Shout out to Wu. I just
lots of stories to tell.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And the third person.
Did I say Biggie? If I didn't.
So let's not say Biggie. Let's talk about that may have impacted you and you really enjoyed working with you.
Out of the industry.
Yeah. So not the music industry.
Yeah, I'd say AGO then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they gave you the opportunity.
Yeah, the art gallery. They were so fun to work with. They came in and really embraced the brand and got to learn about the culture and what we represented, and people telling them stories as they're shopping in there about our the history of our brand. So I'd probably say the AGO as one.
Because I can tell you this on my hip hop festival page. As we talked earlier, we both went to the AGO hip hop exhibit, and I actually went in the store and definitely took a reel of some of your pieces, and then of course I paired it with Thrust, and
I think Thrust.
Exactly. Chris, and I've known him since we were kids, and I love that we're able at this age to come back to each other, find each other in different spaces, wonderful spaces, to be honest with you, and be able to sit down and talk with each other. I think Toronto needs to understand what this man has done for the community. I'm so excited to be here. Even though I know him, I'm interviewing him, which is totally different. His stories are wonderful, and things that I haven't learned about 100 Miles that I did not know. But again, he talked about it earlier. History is very important in how we place that within the Toronto area and what we produce specifically for our culture, because our culture sometimes can be really looked at as in a negative way. So again, many, many congratulations to you out there.
Thank you.
Earlier, I was talking about his designs, fashions, and as I said, I was on this, I think it was downtown Toronto, and I want to talk about this piece here, Greater Toronto Area. I saw this and did not see this part here, and thought to myself, as I said earlier, this is a great idea. What was the inspiration on this one?
Well, GTA being Greater Toronto Area, we just saw it's kind of how my mind works. I saw the correlation, right, with the gamers and the city, and just kind of put it
together. One and one makes two.
You know what I mean?
Or you're being very creative, and that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And this usually sells for how much?
Like $240.
That's okay. And we're going to see
Canadian made. So the quality.
So it's also Canadian
yeah.
Funding as well. So if you're buying it from the States or maybe out of the other countries, you might get a little discount.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
You could,
more inexpensive.
You could definitely support.
Yeah.
And we want to look at some of maybe your hats over here and the different things you have here. So you can get lots of different styles in hats. when we walk over there, you'll see he has lots of different colors, lots of different fonts. You can match everything,
gear up
all the way from the bottom right to the top. And do you sell tracksuits?
Yeah,
full tracksuits. Yeah, I listen. My uniform for life is jeans, tracksuits, and shirt, and dresses. Yes, let us see. Show off, please. Yes. Oh, that's nice. So let me hold this one for you so that they can see. Full. Guys, look at that.
Yeah, so we do a lot. Like, this is what we're known for, our fleece. So tracksuits are like our staple.
And they got the cuff. Do you guys have the other style as well with the straight? Yeah. Mine is the straight. I don't know necessarily. But again, guys, look at this. This is great. Stop feeling it. The material, it's thick. You know, our cold winters, put this on, you are good. You know what I mean? And I'm going to put that back there for you. And you also you even have some winter wear as well. What are these? Toques? Beanies, toques and beanies.
Scullies.
Again, you're seeing the name on there. You're representing Toronto. When you wear this, you're also representing his business. And what else can we show the audience? You want to grab maybe some of the kids stuff?
Kids stuff.
Yeah, he's got things for kids.
Well, we do a lot of.
Just grab any piece. Let's see. Yeah.
We do the beach, right? Because we're in the beach, so.
But it's still 100 miles?
Oh, yeah. This is still 100 miles, right? So and if you look at our label.
Inside.
Our label's on the inside.
Okay,
right?
cool. So 100 miles made this.
Yeah.
And do you have anything with 100 miles for the kids?
Yeah, it's in right now because of the size and online, that's in the back.
Okay, got you.
Endless amount of kids stuff.
And I like this one too, because this one
the Dice collection.
Okay, so I didn't know the name. This is the Dice collection, and
that's how we roll, right? So, and life is basically it's how you roll, right?
That's it.
Right. So.
And I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. I love the song 12 Roll of the 12-Sided Dice by Dream Warriors. So I like this.
Out Louis and Q.
Exactly. And this particular this hoodie here, it does say limited edition. Mm-hmm. So again, he's made some. You explain it. Have you made only a few?
A few of them, right? This is something brand new in terms of the tie-dye dice collection, where we just made a very short, small run just to test it out and see how people, will vibe to the tie-dye, right? So,
let's do some girl stuff. Yeah. I love this. It's so cute, guys. A hoodie, and it's got the nice, cute, delicate writing, but you can still see it. So, girls, guys, children, come out. Remember, he's got lots of colors. He's got t-shirts. Like I said, I love a hoodie. This is amazing. Again, the material is fantastic. Make sure come out and support. Let's see what else we could talk about.
Oh, man. Oops. Another tracksuit.
Okay. So I'll hold one.
And again, Canadian made, 100% cotton.
Oh, this is cute. This is HM. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah.
So 100 miles, you're right.
And I love the color. And let me tell you guys, this, honestly, if when we go through December, January, and February, put on this and you are good, because I'm lifting this and I have to lift it. It's so heavy. You know what I mean? So again, congratulations on everything you've done and accomplished throughout the years. And remember to come and visit him. He's online. He's gracious enough to show some of his clothes to us. Make sure that you come and support. And is there anything else you want to discuss or talk about with regards to your clothes and showing it off? For sure.
Some of our newer stuff.
Ooh, this is nice. This is, wait. This is what, turn it back. Is this when it started?
Yeah.
1992. Do you know how old we were? Do you know how old we were?
Oh, man, I was like 19, 20 years old.
I'm telling you.
That time.
And let me see the front. Let's see the front. Okay, it's got zipper. Yeah. Okay, you're wearing the it's so I would say
this is the lighter version and this is the heavier.
And it's would you call this commemorative piece because it's got the 1992 on it?
I'd call it more like the riders, you know what I mean? Like the hardcore 100 miles people that represent the brand. This is for you guys.
And so you can actually get winter gear in here too, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, you get.
Let's see. He got the vest too. That is amazing. My husband loves these.
Right.
So those that want a full sleeve or you want half sleeve, You can do that as well. There's so much items in here. I was actually looking at that. I wasn't sure if you'd bring that over. I love this bomber, okay? Yeah. This bomber is amazing, and we built this city since 1992, but we were here longer, actually. Yeah, we built it. And let me turn it in the front. It has got a nice black. It's not too satiny where it's shiny and it's soft to the touch. And I love, look at this, estimated in 91 or established. Yeah. Established. Yeah. And then this is what, Canada. So the 6, you know, and then we got the 6, 100 miles, 100 miles. He's got some patches on it. He got 100 miles here. And the
a lot of detail.
What is the X for?
X marks the spot.
Okay. So he actually has really wonderful meaning to his clothing line. Yeah. And again, it is Canadian made. And are you guys self-sustained? Are you?
Yeah, 100% cotton. Majority of our garments are 100% cotton. We believe in like recycled wear, and like just using things that are not harmful to the environment. Right. Or child labor. So we're very, very, you know, strict on where we get our stuff made and who makes our stuff, and you know, that nature of the business. And again, guys, he's giving you business practices. I'm asking the question, but think about it this way. He's showing you business practices as we speak. When you're thinking about creating a business, starting a business, you have to start from the beginning to the end, and it never stops. And so as he's evolved, you know, again, we could talk about the 90s. We weren't being as sustainable as we are now. So to do this is, you know, kudos to you, because you know, you're saying, you know what, I don't mind people wearing clothes, but you want to help the earth and make the clothes even sustainable, that not only for the earth, but that you can wear this for years to come. If you don't mind a little fading and this and that, then you know that you got an outfit that's okay, because color is always going to fade on clothes, and that's okay. But pick something that you like, that even if it transitions a little bit or it changes, that you can stand, as he's saying, and wear it for years. So again, kudos to you on doing that. That's something else. Do you want to speak about something else about your design element, or why you design as we're doing this? Our design element is, like I said, we don't really look at anybody else. Right. Everybody is always looking at us. That's kind of always been our motto. Trendsetter. Right. And we don't believe in competing with anybody. We believe in competing with ourselves. Yeah. Right. I agree with that. So a lot of everything that you do is like inspired by the community, inspired by what we feel inside. So our energy and our vibe in terms of, or passion for our creations, is just like feeling the pulse of the community and feeling the pulse of the people. If I walked into the store today, could I get something custom? Of course. Let's say I owned a corporate business. Yeah, of course. Oh, we do tons of that. Okay, talk about that. We do a lot of corporate or like attire for a lot of different brands and a lot of different companies. So we design for other clothing brands. We design for we've designed for RBC. We've designed for like half of the businesses in the beach here. Good for you. We do a lot of like corporate stuff. Some of it we can disclose, some of it I don't want to disclose. No, that's okay. Just because of, I asked because if there's somebody out there that come to us. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Get at us if you want anything custom made. Right, we do an endless plethora of that type of work all the time. That's good. That's good. And let's talk about some of the artists that, like, we know we've mentioned Tupac and Biggie. Give us some more artists that have worn your clothes most recently. Most recently, Ty Dolla $ign. Okay, he was up here. Yeah. Or did he just order? Or did he order? Well, I don't know all the concerts. Okay, I don't know all the concerts. So that's my homie. Ty, Bryson Tiller. Okay, so you're having a lot of the new artists see who you are, recognizing you. Tiller. That is great. Drama, DJ Drama, Drake, obviously. Right. I mean? Like these are like the newer generation. Post Malone. Okay. You see, always with artists, I always forget. You know what I mean? Because you're not a groupie, or they end up becoming your friends or business partners. So I usually forget. And you know what? Let me tell you, that's a good thing, because one thing, you know what, I feel like if you're going to be in a business, especially the industry,
you have to choose what side you're on. I'm in the industry myself, and I am not a groupie. I love all the artists. I love all that stuff, but it just doesn't, it's not a good fit. And if you really want to network and do things correctly, then you got to do them the right way. So again, he's opening your eyes. I hope you guys are listening and hearing that his business is successful based on a lot of different changes, pivots, and continuous changes in his business. And I just want to say to everybody, this was a fantastic interview. I'm still excited. Garie, thank you so much for the interview. It's much appreciated.
I appreciate having you guys out. Shout out Down to Earth Podcast. Shout out the Hip Hop Festival.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Stay in tune. Watch these guys. These guys are really, really deep. And, you know, we need more of this type of stuff happening in our community.
Thank you again, guys. Appreciate it.
Down to work.